everyone in. Hi.
Hello.
Here we go. Yay. I think that's everyone, almost everyone. Oh, good. I think we have everyone. Let's make sure. We have everyone. Hi, friends. So if you'd like to have a block, maybe a bolster if you want one, that might be good. No. Okay. So we're gonna do some heart openers today. We'll be working with chest stand or also called chin stand. But really just doing prep work for it. So I encourage you to unmute yourself anytime you have a question and just let me know. Feel free to use your voice and ask, and hopefully I can assist you with anything. So it's okay to unmute anytime. Let's make sure you can see me. Okay. We'll just begin with a palm tree vinyasa. Get ourselves warm. So you can find these on the Facebook group. There's a YouTube link, and I encourage you to practice the palm tree vinyasa on your own time, just to kind of really get the nuances of it, because it's a really good practice. It's really twisty, and it really helps to open up the rib cage area. So we're going to interlace our fingers and point the palms up towards the ceiling. And then we'll just take some time here and really stretch out. Really feel yourself reaching. This is the time of the year when the seasons are changing, right? And everything is feeling a little bit more dry and tense and just not quite normal. So let's just kind of feel into that. And let's here ground into standing like you're in mountain pose. So really ground into your standing feet. Feel your legs engage. Feel your kneecaps lift and really engage through your legs. And then we have a tendency as we're standing to sometimes have a little bit of a booty pop, right? But I want you to take the booty pop out of it and ground your tailbone down, and also push your hip flexors forward a little bit. Engage your glutes. And then we're going to come onto the balls of the feet. So come all the way up. And if you come back down, that's okay. Just go right back up. And then release your chin down towards your chest. Keep reaching through your arms. Reach through your ribs and your armpits. Reach, reach, reach. Chin towards chest. And then on your exhale, start to release your heels back down slowly and with control towards the ground. On your inhale, reach your palms up towards the ceiling. And on your exhale, fold to the side, whichever side you want, but really focusing on opening through the upper side of the ribs. Like really feeling the length between the ribs on that side that's reaching towards the ceiling. Like you're trying to actually open it to the upper side. And then inhale to come back to standing. Reach your palms up towards the ceiling. And fold the other way, really focusing on the upper side ribs, expansiveness. And then on your next inhale, come all the way back up to standing. We'll twist to one side, keeping the hips pointing forward, and even pushing that hip forward on the side that you're turning towards. So it's really causing a deep twist in your spine. Look in the direction that you're twisting. On your inhale, come forward. And exhaling to twist the other way, pressing the hip forward, looking in the direction that you're twisting deeply with your eyes. And inhale back to the front. And exhale your arms down into a T shape. Flip your palms over. And exhale, twist. Look in the direction that you're twisting. Push your hip forward on that same side. So you're really twisting your spine. Inhale back to the front. And exhale, twist the other way. Push your hip forward. And inhale, come to the front. Let's go arms up overhead again. Interlace the fingers again. Exhale to fold at your hips. You can release your hands and bring them wide to airplane arms. Really super strong legs, a little micro bend in your knees. And then reach your arms up overhead again. On your inhale, come all the way to standing, super strong legs. And take your palms together, drag them through the front, the center line of your body. Hinge at your hips, reach your hands for the ground, forward fold, release your head, your neck, your jaw. Inhale, half lift your spine, reach through the crown of your head. Exhale, forward fold. 2 more like this. Inhale, half lift your spine, reach, and exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift, reach through the crown of your head, reach your spine long, and exhale, forward fold. Super strong legs, arms in line with ears, rise all the way up to standing, super strong body. And then we're taking the arms to behind the back, interlace fingers, lift your arms up and back, and exhale, forward fold. Lift your arms up. Keep lifting, really deep shoulder stretch here. And keep your arms lifted as you rise up to standing. And then we're gonna reach and grab elbows behind the back, grab wrists, grab elbows, or take prayer pose. On your exhale, twist and press into the opposite side of your back with your wrist or your hand, and press that hip forward. Inhale back to the front. Exhale, twist the other way, pressing that hip forward, looking in the direction that you're twisting, pressing into your back on the opposite side. Inhale back to the front, and exhale, forward fold. Super strong legs. Inhale all the way back up to standing, and lift your chest, backward bending. And exhale your hands by your sides. We'll chair pose here, fierce pose here. So bend your knees, sink your hips down, make sure there's plenty of space behind you for our next part for the vinyasa. And then lift your arms up overhead, sink your tailbone down, look up. Super strong glutes. Now I want you to traction your feet apart from each other and really feel that in your legs. Feel it in the outside edges of your legs and in your glutes. And then on your exhale, forward fold, nice and slow. Inhale, half lift your spine. Exhale, back to plank. We're gonna point and flex the feet. Grip the ground like you're grabbing a ball and point and flex your feet. And now we're moving. Let's go. Knees on the ground if you'd like to, or you can keep them up off the ground. And we'll move through chaturanga. So push up position and then upward facing dog. Balancing on the tops of your feet here. Let's go ahead and set the thighs down onto the ground. And we're just gonna lift one hip and then the other. And this might feel better with more bent arms, or it might not feel good at all. So I really encourage you to feel into your body and only do what's good for you today. That might be just kind of staying still in this position instead of moving. So really just kind of discerning, ask yourself what's really good for me today, and do that. We'll move into downward facing dog. Flex your feet, lift your hips up high, and press your chest back towards your thighs. Grip the ground. You can walk it out here. Do whatever you need to do. First down dog. Have it feel really good. We're going to take a new position for down dog today for a little bit of the time. So what we're going to do is we're going to have knees bent a little bit, and we're going to be on the balls of the feet. We're going to be gripping the ground, and it's like we want to be buoyant. It's like we want to be springy, right? So that I could jump myself forward, jump myself back. So let's do that a few times. Jump yourself forward towards your hands, and then jump yourself back. Just a few jumps here. And then we're gonna wag the tail. So take your hips from one side to the other side, bending one knee and then the other knee, really accentuating the walking out down dog here. Super lengthening through one side and then the other side. Shaking your tail. All right, and step one foot to the center. Take one leg up and back, one-legged downward facing dog. And we're just gonna shake the tail by opening the hip and closing it. Shake your tail, open and close your hip. Just a few more rounds here, really feeling the whole back side of your standing leg and what's happening there as you close your hip and open it. And then swing that leg forward, and we'll come to a high lunge at first. Reach your arms up, and let's take the thumbs, wrap the thumbs around the opposite hand so you kind of have a steeple. Straighten out your arms as much as you can and open through your upper back, or through your chest, so that you're bending through your upper back. So it's like you have a string connected to the back of your vertebrae, pulling you forward into an open spine and a backward bend. And now we're gonna come down onto the back knee into a low lunge. Moving through, tipping the pelvic bowl back, and then tipping the pelvic bowl forward. So this looks like I'm just lifting and lowering here, but what I really want to be focused on is tipping the pelvic bowl back and really feeling the intensity through my lower thigh, my quad. And then I want to tip the pelvic bowl forward like I'm arching my spine, like I'm pouring the cereal out the front side. So tip the pelvic bowl back, tip the pelvic bowl forward. Really feel it as you go into your forward, into your deeper lunge. Feel it go all the way up your spine. Tip your pelvic bowl back and tip it forward. Okay, and now we'll straighten out that front leg and we'll half monkey here. So you can juice up your hips by internally and externally rotating your leg, if it feels good. Now let's square it up and we'll push the back knee forward and pull the front leg back. Lengthen your spine on your inhale and exhale to forward fold. Rippling up your spine as you inhale, getting longer with your spine. Exhaling and hinging at your hips. One more. Awesome. And now bending that front knee, we're gonna twist the spine. You can take your same side hand down to the ground or your opposite hand from the leg that's in front and your same side hand onto your knee. And you can press into your knee to cause a twist. If this is not enough of a twist, if you want more, you can take your opposite elbow to knee and press your palms together and really twist by pressing your knee or your elbow into your knee. So this is just kind of a choose your own adventure twist, taking it as deeply as you want to right now. Breathing slow, steady, and smooth, in and out of your nose. Rhythmical breathing, in and out the nose to build the heat in the body. One more breath. And then come forward. We'll straighten out the leg again. Plant both hands on either side of the heel, flex the back foot, and then sweep that leg back into your one-legged downward facing dog. Relax your chest back towards your knee. Press deeply into your down dog, and we're gonna go toe towards head. Shift your shoulders over your hands and look up. All right, now we're taking the leg back down, and then we take our funny down dog with our bent legs, and we're just gonna jump this forward and back a couple times, okay? So jump it forward like you're pulling yourself into a forward fold, and then as you jump it back, push with your hands. Pull yourself into forward fold jumping, and then push with your hands back. All right, now we'll go for the other side. One-legged downward facing dog. Leg goes up and back, and then we're opening the hip and closing the hip. Open the hip and close the hip. So we're wagging our tails. Keep pressing your chest back towards your thigh, opening your hip and closing your hip. And then we're gonna sweep that leg forward, coming into a lunge, a crescent lunge. We're gonna take the hands together, palms of the hands together, and then wrap the thumbs around so that we're in a bit of a steeple pose. And then we can add a little back bend here. Squeeze your glutes, bend into your front knee, flex your back foot. Look up towards the ceiling, really opening through your shoulders, opening through your whole front body, stabilizing through your legs and breathing. And then we start to place the back knee down. You can take your hands to your hips and start to tip your pelvic bowl back, pouring the cereal out the backside. And tip your pelvic bowl forward, taking that bend all the way up your spine. Tip the pelvic bowl back. And tip the pelvic bowl forward. Really feeling how this is moving at your hips and how that movement at your hips moves your whole spine. It requires a really strong front leg, really stabilizing front leg, tipping the pelvic bowl forward and taking it all the way up the spine, tipping the pelvic bowl back and taking it all the way up. And then we can straighten that front leg out and juice up the hips. Side to side, internal and external rotation. And then we'll press that back knee forward and pull the heel back. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale to fold. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale to fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine, rippling up your spine like a wave. Exhaling, hinging at your hips to fold in. Feeling everything that's happening in your spine. And as you're folding, remembering to pull all of your muscles in towards your spine and towards your bones, right? Core, like gentle core engagement, toning through the whole body as we fold here. And then we'll bend the front knee. You can place your opposite hand on the ground and press your hand into your knee to cause a twist. Or you can take your opposite elbow to your knee and press your peace, your prayer pose, hands together, and really push into your knee to cause a twist. We're twisting from the base of the spine all the way up to the neck. And then we're looking with the eyes as we're twisting as well. Looking deeply to the side that you're twisting towards and breathing. We're really strong and stable through the legs, especially that front leg. Pressing deeper into the twist with the hand or the elbow. On every exhale, going a little bit deeper. And then we can come back to the front. Hands on either side of your front foot. Straighten out that front leg. And then we'll take it, flex the back foot. Sweep that front leg through to the back. Lift it up, one-legged downward facing dog. And then we're gonna shift the shoulders forward on top of the hands. Bend that upper leg and reach the crown of the head up towards your toe. Reach, 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 and also look up. Expand through the whole front side of your body. And then we'll take it down. Big toes touch. Let's do our funny position again. So bend your knees, grip the ground, and let's jump forward by pulling with the hands. And then we'll jump back and push with the hands, push forward. Pull with your hands back towards your feet to jump forward. Push away as you jump back. All right, and then we'll come to knees. We'll take all fours here. And we're just gonna C-curve with the spine. Head and hips go in the same direction. Just moving through the spine a bit. Couple times here, and then we're gonna take our chest to ground, and we can take a chaturanga here, taking it all the way to the ground. So you can have your knees on the ground, or you can start from push-up position and lower yourself all the way to the ground. Awesome. So we're gonna take arms up overhead and forehead on the ground. So I want you to bend first through your neck and then take the bend all the way down your back as you lift on your inhale, lifting your arms as well. Inhaling to come up, exhaling down for 5. Keep breathing and bending through your neck first as you inhale and lift. Squeeze your whole back body. Just 2 more. Toning through your whole body. And then you can stack your hands and then rest your hands on your hand, or your face on your hands. And take a deep breath. Maybe sigh out your mouth. Awesome. So we're just gonna do some tummy time now. So I want you to lift your arms and legs. You can have your hands back by your hips with your pinkies pointing up towards the ceiling. The pinkies are on top. Thumbs are pointing down towards the ground. And we're just gonna lift the arms, so pinkies towards the ceiling, and just pulsing up and down. And then we're taking the arms a little bit wider, pulsing up and down. And then the tops of the hands turn towards the ceiling, and we're kind of more in an airplane pose right now. We're just lifting and lowering, pulsing up and down. And now we're coming into a V shape with the arms. Thumbs point up towards the ceiling, lifting and lowering. Awesome. And now we're just swimming it out. We're just tummy time. Swim it out. Keep your core really toned. Pull your belly button in towards your spine. Swim it out. And now stack your hands and turn your head the other way. And take a deep breath and relax. You can sigh it out. And now I want you to press your pubic bone down into the ground. And now you can take your chin to your, let's double fist stack here. So we've got like a block. You could also just use a block. But we've got about a block height here. You're gonna put your chin on your double fist stack. And then you're gonna push your pubic bone into the ground, engage your glutes, and pull your belly button up off of the ground. And breathe here while you're doing it for 2 more breaths. Awesome. And now we're going to take the hands by the sides. Go ahead and grip one of your ankles and take the other arm up overhead. So you've got a hold of one ankle. Keep the knees about shoulder distance or hip distance apart from each other, but no wider than that. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna lift everything except for the back leg, and we're gonna push the ankle into the hand. But you're also going to be moving from your neck and taking the bend all the way down your back. So start with your forehead on the ground. Inhale to bend your neck first, and then take the bend all the way down your back. Press your ankle into your hand and lift your arm. Look up and exhale, lower back down. 4 more like this. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Feel your whole body toning and really engaging. Feel the heat that you're producing in your body. And when you are complete with your 5, I want you to grab your other ankle. So we're not switching sides yet. We're just grabbing the other ankle. And again, we're moving from the neck all the way down the back, starting with the forehead on the ground. Everything is lifting except for the back leg. Inhale, lift up, push your ankle into your hand, look, reach up, exhale down. 4 more like this. Make sure you're moving from your neck first. Now is when we switch sides. Reach the other arm overhead. And with your hand, grab your same side ankle. Forehead goes on the ground. We're moving through the neck first and then lifting everything but that back leg. Inhale up, press your ankle into your hand. Look up, exhale down. Keep moving like this. 4 more. Really pressing that ankle into your hand so you can feel the deep stretch, the deep bend. Moving from your neck first, taking it all the way down your back. And now grab the opposite ankle. Crossing the body now. We're working with the erector muscles in the back and strengthening. So we'll inhale to lift, pressing ankle into hand, looking up, exhale to lower. 4 more like this. All right, and we can move into child's pose and just take a break. So take your hips and stack them over your feet and relax your forehead down onto the ground. Relax and release. We're gonna take puppy pose here. So you're just gonna lift your hips up and slide your hands forward and reach your chin for the ground. If this doesn't feel like enough of a stretch, like you could do more, then you can add a block. You could also see about just taking your hands under your chin and taking the same puppy pose. And this will just help to stretch this area out a little bit so that it doesn't feel uncomfortable when we start to do a little bit more bending. So any of these three are good. Just choose whatever is the most comfortable for you right now. Breathing slow, steady and smooth, in and out of your nose. Remember that when we're back bending and we're like compressing our lungs, there's gonna be less oxygen. There's gonna be less breath moving, right? It's just gonna be a more shallow breath, potentially not as long of a breath, it might be shorter. So don't worry about that, that's fine. And we're coming into a downward facing dog. So take your hands to the ground, flex your feet, lift your hips up, but we're gonna keep the knees bent, right? And we're gonna move through this position where we're coming into our cobra. So you're taking your chest forward, thighs down, rippling all the way up your spine, and you can keep your feet flexed. And then your hips come up, your knees bend, and then you're moving your chest back towards your bent thighs or your bent knees. Okay, shift it forward, thighs come down, ripple up your spine, and bend your knees, hips come up, chest goes back towards knees. So we're moving through. Find your cadence, moving through upward facing dog and downward facing dog, our funny downward facing dog. Rippling all the way up your spine, moving into upward facing dog, and then arching through your spine to move into downward facing, our funny downward facing dog. So keep moving like this. Keep breathing with it. It's an exhale at the down dog and an inhale when you're moving into up dog. And then we land in downward facing dog. Find some stillness. Press your chest back towards your thighs and really stretch out the back sides of your legs by releasing your heels all the way down towards the ground. Let's walk the hands back. We'll come into a forward fold. Relax your head, relax your neck, relax your jaw. Release your head like it's like your head is a pendulum and it's just hanging from the string of your neck. And you can gently shake your head, yes. Nice and gently. And gently shake your head, no. All right, and we're walking it back out to downward facing dog. Knees come down, tabletop. So we're moving into, let's go ahead and do some cat and cows here. Cat and cow, your spine, arching and hollowing out. We'll be moving into a sequence that is more puppy pose. So cat and cow, C curve from side to side. And then we'll take our disco cats, right? So C curve, arch, C curve, hollow, really expand your back body. And then keep taking it in that big circle with your belly button. Big disco cat circles. Feeling all the clicks and pops. And then let's go the other way. C curve arch, C curve hollow. All right, I'm bringing it back to stillness. Now, we'll take our puppy pose. So slide your hands out and then place your chin on the ground. And we'll just warm this position up for a moment. Really feeling into what part of your spine is this accessing. Now I want you to push into one knee and then the other knee. Shifting your weight into one knee and then the other knee. And now drag your hands back, put your hips down on your heels, expand through your back body and drag your fingers back all the way to your knees. Let's try this same thing, but now we're gonna cross the arms over the chest and we're gonna lift one leg. So maybe look at me and just see what I'm doing first real quick. So I'm gonna place the X of my hands, my arms, I'm gonna cross my arms and place that X on the ground, chin on the ground, and then I'm gonna lift my leg up and back. So we're just gonna try this out, crossed arms, and I'm just gonna come and see if I can help. Unmute yourself if you have any questions. We're just trying it out. Really good. So we can play with the different placements for the knees. The knees could be closer to the arms potentially if you want to try it and just see. Yeah. Really good. Super strong body. Yeah. And then lifting that leg. It looks so good. Squeeze your glutes. The more you squeeze your glutes, the more you'll be able to lift your legs.
Cool question. So we want our chin on the ground. Like, does it matter? Like, this is very wobbly. Is that okay?
It's really wobbly. Yeah. And we're going to go into, we'll take it into puppy and see if we can stabilize. But first we want to do it with the shoulder joint closed just to see how it feels.
Okay.
So
okay, yeah, I just want to make sure that was normal.
It's totally, yeah, because you're just like, you're like on like a really uneven surface, like wobbling to and fro. Yeah, that's super normal. Good. And the next part is going to be to spread the arms out in front of you, to stretch them out in front of you into puppy. And then we're doing the same thing from arms stretched out in front. And we're reaching the armpits down towards the ground. Hands are about shoulder distance apart from each other. Arms are stretched straight out in front of you. Yep, and hips are up high. And you can kind of walk one knee more into the center a little bit. And then see about lifting it. And I'm just going to show it. anytime that you come up from it, taking your fingers and grabbing the ground and then really expanding through your whole back body as you drag your fingers back towards your knees can help to neutralize your spine after doing that crazy back bend. So notice what part of your back you're accessing while you're doing this. And try to keep your hips even if you're not like, you know, going up too high. They're even-ish. They're actually not super even, but they're even-ish, right? So just finishing up, making sure that you've done both sides so that you feel nice and even. We'll move on to the next piece. And if you have any questions, please go ahead and unmute if this feels strange, or if you want to ask any questions, that's totally fine.
I know I'm not super flexible right now since we don't do much aerial, but any like modifications, because my back bend is not great. I don't think you can see me, but like
I can't see
to
you.
kind of help. Yeah, I was like, but any like tips for like, is there a way to slightly modify it so I can kind of still practice this? Because it's very tight and it's hard for me to get my chin all the way down comfortably.
Yeah, and so we want to get the chin down. Some of the things that you could do for modifications might be to take your knees back further.
Okay.
And just start with a little bit like less of an intensity in your back bend, because we want to have the stability of the chin on the ground and the habit of the chin on the ground. So maybe try that out and just see if that
Okay.
works.
Okay.
Yep, and child's pose is where you're gonna be if you're done, if you're complete with this. Yeah, that looks great, Stephanie.
Yeah, that was a lot
Beautiful.
easier. Okay. That's
Cool.
good. So I can just take my legs back a little bit farther and actually really get my chest out all the way.
Yeah, and then you're gonna feel really stable in it, and then you can start to move it up, and that way it's progressive. Good, awesome question. Thank you for asking it. Okay, let's go into the next piece. Okay. So maybe we want to take a moment in a down dog. Yeah. So plant your hands, lift your hips, press yourself back into your downward facing dog. Press your chest towards your thighs. And then we're going to come forward to plank pose. And you can always use your knees on the ground. We'll point the toes and then lower down chaturanga all the way to the ground. And we're going to do our locust pose here. And this is where we have our pinky fingers together and our palms flat on the ground. We're not going to do a whole lot here. Before we've focused a lot on this, but we're just going to use this for a moment. So lay on the ground, take your hands underneath your body, and your hips should be on the outsides of your hands. And we're just gonna lift one leg up. Chin can be on the ground, forehead can be on the ground, either one. We're squeezing the glutes and lifting that one leg up and really feeling the core tone. Feel the intensity of the tone in your core. And then lower that back down. And then we'll lift the other leg up. Squeeze your core, lift your leg. Squeezing and lifting, you should feel your glute like really engaging on just the one side. And then lower it back down. And then we're gonna lift both legs up so that we still feel the hips on the arms, or the torso on the arms. Keep breathing and lifting. Squeeze your glutes. And then lower it back down. And now we'll turn on to our backs. And here, We're gonna start to warm up our bridge pose. So I want you to take your hands to the ground, fingers point towards feet, and your fingers kind of tuck up underneath your shoulders. Elbows point up towards the ceiling. Heels come in towards butt, like really close to butt, yeah? And they're about hip width apart, maybe a tiny bit wider. Now we're gonna push into the feet, lifting the hips up, and then push into the arms and come up into wheel. You can do an interim step by taking the top of your head to the ground if you want to. And then find your wheel and start to straighten your legs out a little bit, pushing into your upper back. And we'll do this, straightening the legs out a little bit, and then releasing, bending the legs again, straighten the legs. And you're not straightening them completely necessarily, we're just straightening them out so that the shoulders push over top of the hands. Grip the ground like you're grabbing a ball, and we're moving from straightening those legs a little bit to bending the legs again. Straighten and bend. And grip the ground and see how that affects your shoulders. Relax your head, your neck, your jaw. Straighten your legs, grip the ground, and then take your chin towards your chest and lower yourself back onto your back. Now I want you to just feel your back on the ground here and take a nice soft breath. And we're playing with the upper back flexibility, because what we're gonna do here is we're gonna start to bend the arms back like we're moving into chest stand. And that doesn't mean that we're moving into chest stand. We're just accessing a different part of the back by moving through wheel, okay? So I'm gonna show you what I mean by this, and so you can look at me first before we try it. Pushing up into wheel, and then we're reaching, elbows are bending out front, and it's like we're reaching the chin or the nose towards the ground. And I want you to be gripping the ground with your hands, and that's gonna help open up your upper back. So we're going down and then kind of straightening the legs so that we're taking shoulders over hands, and then bending and then straightening and bending and straightening and stacking, right? So there's a lot going on here. So I'm gonna say the words again while I'm not upside down. So we're in a bridge up, we're lowering chest down towards ground, or like reaching the face, the chin down towards the ground as we bend the elbows, and then we're bending the elbows straight out in front of us, right, away from the body, and then gripping the ground at the same time so that we can access that bend in the upper back, okay? And then as you come back up, I want you to shift your weight over top of your shoulders by straightening out your legs a little bit. So we're just playing with these two different moves, bending the arms and gripping the ground, and then straightening the arms and stacking the shoulders on top of the hands, okay? It's a lot of things, and even if you're only doing some of them, it's still good. Yep, and as you come back up, I want you to straighten out those legs a little bit so you can stack your shoulders over your hands. Really nice. Yes. Nice. I'm seeing some really beautiful shapes here. So remember, look at the ground as you're going down. You're looking towards the ground, yes? Oh my goodness, yes. So to make this more challenging, you can walk your feet closer to your head. If you have any questions, you can unmute and ask. You guys look like you're doing so awesome. It's so fun. Okay, so if you want like next level, it's walk your hands closer to your feet. Yeah. But let's do one more anything before we're done. And that could be that you go into more of a locust, where your hands are your palms down on the ground, and then maybe you shoot your legs up higher than just having, our hips connected to the forearms. It could be that you do this again, the bridge towards chest stand again, and just see about it with your feet walking closer to your head. Or you could do any of the other things that we've done tonight, or any other chest stand technique that you like. For the next couple of minutes, feel free to ask any questions. This is kind of free time, and I want you to feel like you can use the heat that we just created to kind of do whatever feels really good in your body. Ooh, I see that scorpion. I see that locust. That was beautiful. Really nice. Yes. Beautiful. Get it. All right. You guys are awesome. It looks so good. So what do we know about forward folds and back bends? They go together like peanut butter and jelly, right? I wish I could eat peanut butter, but that's a different story. So we've been back bending, and so to kind of decompress for a moment, we want to take ourselves into a forward fold. So whenever you feel ready, let's go into a seated forward fold. And we'll just lengthen through the crown of the head and then fold, just hinging at the hips. So we're not flexing at the spine yet. We're just folding at the hips with a stacked spine. And finding that flexibility and that range. And then once you've found that range, then you can flex your spine forward and release your face towards your shins. And breathe. Slow, steady, and smooth breaths in and out of your nose. A couple more breaths here, releasing on your exhale. On your inhale, see if you can reach your toes or the top of your head towards your toes. You can even see, can you even touch your toes to your head? If you can, please unmute and let me know. Inhale and reach the crown of your head towards your toes. Even pull your toes back towards your head with your hands. Exhale, fold even more. Pull your belly button in towards your spine. Inhale, lengthen, ripple up your spine, reaching the crown of your head towards your toes. Exhale, fold. A couple more breaths like this. I want you to feel into the space of your spine. Notice into it. Let's take a different grip. So whatever grip you have on your legs or your feet, do something else. You can take a bind, or you can wrap, if you've been wrapping around the outside of your feet, wrap around the upper side of your feet. Or if you've been grabbing a hold of your ankles, you can grab a hold of the back sides of your legs. Anything that's just a little bit different here. And now we'll start to move one foot forward and then the other. So your hips, we're moving at the hips now. Pushing one foot forward and then the other. Like you're trying to kick something out in front of you, pushing it out of the way. Also pulling the other leg back. All right, and one more breath, kissing your shins, reaching towards kissing your shins. All right, and then we lay on our backs. We'll reestablish that core strength and pulse towards the toes or past the toes 20 times. Keep breathing as you do it. And then bend your knees, feet on the ground. Cross one knee over the other and twist in that same direction. If this doesn't feel like enough of a twist as you release your shoulder down to the ground and your knees down to the ground, then you can see about lifting your hips up. And I like to put a meditation pillow underneath my hips here and cause an even deeper twist. So you can just play with whatever feels good in a super twist. Breathing, looking in the direction opposite your knees. And then we're uncrossing, lifting the knees up, crossing the other way, and twisting. Again, if you've got your shoulder on the ground, you've got your knees reaching to the ground, and it doesn't feel like enough, you can lift those hips up. Look in the direction opposite your knees. Breathing slow, steady, and smooth. In and out of your nose. Maybe make sure that you've got a smile on your face. See if that moves the energy through your system a little bit differently. And then we bring the knees up, uncross. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourselves a big hug. Squeeze your knees. Chin towards chest. Give yourself some gratitude and some love for showing up for yourself tonight. Maybe give your knees a kiss. Squeeze your knees. Squeeze your belly button in towards your spine. And we're going to rock and roll, going up one side of the spine and down the opposite. Moving ourselves in a big circle. And then other side, opposite. We'll take a little relax, just 10 breaths. So bring yourself into your Shavasana, which is just relaxation pose. Reaching shoulders away from ears, reaching your fingers towards your feet. Arms are pretty wide, legs are pretty wide. And then we're gonna engage everything, squeeze all the muscles, squeeze everything and take a deep inhale. And then exhale and release, relax everything. We'll take 10 breaths, and with every breath, I want you to relax just 10% more. With every exhale, releasing 10% more. Scanning your body from head to toe, from toe to head. Noticing if there's anything else that you can relax more. Finding more release, more softness, more ease. Releasing and allowing. Scan your body again, and on your exhale, letting go. Except for that smile, and it actually takes less muscles, facial muscles, and engagements to smile than it does to frown. Relax, relax, relax. And wiggle your fingers and your toes. Rotate your wrists and your ankles. And I hope that you get the best night's sleep tonight. Let's bring the legs up, bend the knees, rub the hands and the feet together. We'll come all the way up to seated. I highly encourage self-care rituals at night. So if that can just mean that you like brush your teeth and then give yourself like a little self-massage and say a mantra or something. It can really be anything, but when we get into the habit of doing something for ourselves, it makes us feel like we're really important and like we're really cared for and loved. And so I just really encourage you to take the time to do something to prepare for yourself, to do something nice for yourself in the morning, right? Prepare something tonight that you wouldn't have done normally, and like put a couple of things in a row and do them the same every night. So anyways, thank you for coming, and I hope you have a really lovely night, and feel free to unmute and ask any questions, and have a great night.
Thank you, Trudy.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming.
See you next time.
See ya.